Hi and welcome to Container as a new admin user. We're excited to have you join the platform, which has many uses, yet it's intuitive and user-friendly. Basically, everything should make sense. If not, let us know and we'll see if we can improve it for you. My name is Anna, and in this video, I'm going to cover the basics. Let's get started. Your login screen will look different than mine depending on your company setup. There are also different ways for your users to access files and folders in Container, and I'll cover that more later on. For now, all you need to know is that what anyone sees depends on the permissions set on their user. So you can have different types of users internally and externally, like for example, colleagues, agencies, press, distributors. They will require access to different files and different types of data. Everything in Container is customizable. That goes for user access and also your setup. When you log in as an admin user, you can see everything, and that's what I'm going to do now. Once logged into Container, you will find your folder structure out here on the left. This has already been set up by your company, probably in conversation with us. And remember that as an admin user, you can see everything. What your end users will see depends on what kind of access they've been given. If you need to change anything with the look and feel, you can do that on the far left in the admin menu under settings. Here you can change things like color, font, folder view, and so on. I won't go more into that now, but you can come back in here and have a look later on. Back in your folder, there are some basic options here to create a new folder or to upload some files via this menu or simply by dragging and dropping files into this space here. You can upload all types of files into Container, and we preview over 100 formats. That makes it easier for you to find what you're looking for and then to download or share that. Inside your folder, there are different ways to select files. You can simply drag across here and make a selection, or you can use this little star icon to choose some different items, potentially also from different folders, like this one and this one. And then you'll have a collection up here that you can access. You can also open an image in full screen and then tab across the rest of the items in your folder. You can preview video. And once you have a picture, for example, that you would like to share, you can do that quickly up here via the quick share function. Here you can make some selections depending on how you want this to be shared, and then you can get a link or you can send an email. You can also download the file or indeed several files by clicking on the download icon, and here you have 3 options to download. You can download the original or you can download custom. This option lets you select the output format, the crop, and so on before you either download or get a CDN link that you can use on HubSpot, MailChimp, your website, things like that. The last option you have is to use a download template. Download templates allow you to make your custom downloads into templates. That could be for social media, for newsletters, online marketplaces, to make low-res images, or anything else that you could think of that would be nice to have like a standard format for. You put them together yourself, and once you've created them, you can download your files in that specific format. You find it over here in your admin menu again under resources, and then download options. Up here in the top right corner, you can create a new. You can make as many as you want, and we have a full video guide on how to put these together. That's linked below in the text. Aside from your standard formatting parameters, we can download data with your files, and we can also make automated custom naming from tagged information. In Container, you can enrich your files with all the data that you need. If you work with products, we can actually auto-enrich your files from, for example, a PIM or an ERP system or a spreadsheet. Alternatively, you might want to tag things like photographer and location, any restrictions around the usage of the image. Some customers work with consent forms and expiry dates to be GDPR compliant, and others have approval workflows that require a status. The main benefit of tagging your files is that you can use this information to improve searchability. So you can search in Container via metadata, custom fields, and also AI tags. If you search via custom fields, you can open this filtered search up here, where you can search, for example, by a collection. I'm going to search here for Autumn 22, and I'll get all the images and other types of files that have that tag on them. I can now select them all, or I can star some of them and say these are the ones that I want. And then I can download them or quick share them from up here. If I want to make this share link, I can add some branded information, and I'll show you how to do that in the next part of the video. There are different ways that you can customize user experience in Container. With brand section, which I mentioned just before, you can add details over here in the left-hand menu that will appear when your users log in. So I will just show you what that looks like. I have created a share link that I'm going to paste here in a new tab. And here I will move myself up a little bit. And then you can see here I have this branded information, which is just some contact details and some social media links. You set them up inside your container by going to settings, and then let me just put myself back here. Then you select this brand section here. Now here you can add as many sections as you want and design them with colors, different fonts, whatever you need. You could have contact details, or you could have like a branded message that suits your brand. You can also show social media icons, and those have to be set in here. Once all of this is set up, you then need to make sure that it gets activated on the users. The other feature I wanted to show you is called Page Editor, and you find it up here under Assets. Page Editor just means that you can make a landing page in any of your folders. So it doesn't matter which type of folder it is, in all folders you can create these custom designs. Up here under the three dots, you have the Page Editor, and here you can add text elements, you can add video, you can add images, GIFs, internal and external links, all sorts. Once you're finished, you definitely want to make sure that people have access. So let's have a quick look at permissions. You manage access out here in the admin menu under Access. It can be set by individual user or by group. If you use user groups, we recommend that you don't touch the individual settings of the users in the groups. That's because it can get quite confusing if you need to start managing their access in two different places. So on their own user account and also within the group. You set the permissions in the users and the user groups in the same way. You simply drag these levers to where you want them to be, and you can also take permission away. What you need to know is that permission is inherited into subfolders, but it can be manually overwritten, like so. You can also give access to download templates in here, and if you use custom fields, you can give access to sets of custom fields in here. Access is updated instantly, but you might need to ask your users to refresh for it to be live at their end. That was a short introduction to Container. All of our options, settings, and features are covered at our help desk, which you'll find if you go to helpdesk.container.com. There are lots of other things to explore that we didn't cover in this video, like the appearance or our popular plugins. But for now, I'll leave you with this, and I hope you'll get in touch if there's anything we can help you with.